I did not say that. You can jump, you can backdash, or you can use a throw invincible move. Howard TO9, if you do it right, a reversal prompt will show up. You're probably too early. Okay. Well, Howard, have you set the recording to play? Have you set the recording to play? You've recorded it, now have you gone into the playback settings? Howard, wait until the set is over and I'll show you how to use it. Seth, yes, I am in Mountain Time. Eddie Bust, hit them before they get there. Anticipate, don't react.
We interrupt our program to bring you this important message. I love you.
Ooh.
Now back to our show.
I love you too, Panoptic. Thank you very much for that donation. Greatly appreciated. Oh, that didn't work. Something didn't work there. Does anybody know how many wins I had? I think that was that 2 or 3 wins? I think that was 3 wins. Ugh. That was just 2? Okay. Shoutouts to KOF11. Shoutouts. Neo, how you doing? cannon spike. Kenny Killer, how you doing tonight? Missed it. Oh, missed it. Arcade stick, I am ecstatic. There's one more to go. We only did 4. There's got to be one more. The timer ran out. Okay. Unrivaled, we've only done 4 games. We gotta get to a 5th game. Kenny, I play a first to 5 with a person, and then I give them some advice. Ah, missed the punch. Kenny, there are currently 2 people in front of you in line. I will add you to the line. It's subs only, so you've got the little juice box, so you're good. Unrivaled, I will give you the dirty talk. Also, N1G John, can you let me know your CFN, please? Alright, so Unrivaled, in a nutshell, I could see what you were trying to do, but in trying to do that, you ultimately opened yourself up in too many ways. Same as Twitch. Okay. Thank you. So, rather than just yell at you, which is not the right way to do it, let me ask you this. Unrivaled, do you know how you would open up someone who's not pressing any buttons? Throw. Alright, Unrivaled. Well, let's assume we're at neutral. Let's assume the blue Karen is just sitting there and not doing anything. But when I get close, this Karen likes to press crouch medium kick. How would you beat that? How would you beat someone who waits until you get close, then they press a button? How would you beat that? And let me narrow it down. How would you beat that without jumping? A jump is a perfectly valid answer, but the other answer is what you really need to know. Okay, walk back and whiff punish. Very good. So you know that that's the answer. So with that in mind, since you knew that that was the answer, and you knew that I was doing a lot of walk back fierces and such, what is your game plan since I was looking to whiff punish all of your normals? What's the next step? I'm over here trying to whiff punish your button presses. How can you take advantage of that? By whiff punishing my normals. Okay, good. Unrivaled, that is correct. So since you knew this, why did you not attempt it at all in 10 rounds? Unrivaled, you have the knowledge. You know this. You know that if I'm looking to whiff punish here, I have to stay at this range and I have to press these buttons, which you could whiff punish. So how come you didn't attempt it? If you did attempt it, it did not look like it because you walked backwards before practically every poke. The only thing you poked with that range was V-skill. You never attempted any jumps, and you never attempted any trips. I can understand wanting to play safe, but you played so safe you didn't do anything. Like, I'm glad you have that knowledge, but you're not putting it to use at the moment. It's good that you're thinking about footsies. Let's see. You weren't sure how to apply it. Okay. Well, Unrivaled, this is, let's see. This is where baiting comes into play. Let me record the dummy and show you a good example. Let's see here. Let's see. I'm trying to come up with a precise example, but basically Unrivaled. Ah, here we go. Okay, there's one. And two. What you want to understand, Unrivaled, is that players that are smart and playing footsies know the ranges. They know the ranges. So since they know the ranges, that means that when I see you do particular things, I am trying to anticipate exactly what you're trying to do. Without even considering the dummy here. Let's just say you're standing there. You know the range of your standing medium kick. Okay? You know the range. You know that this is the spot where Karen can make you think about moving backwards and catch a trip, can make you force you to block and get like a dash throw or something like that. You know all of this and you know the ranges. So if your opponent knows this range, they're going to try and counterpoke this and this because these are your business. These are the good ones, right? These are the ones you're going to be using a lot. They're going to try to counterpoke this. So, what's a good counterpoke for stand medium kick, okay? Let's just pretend we're working on the mirror here, although the examples are going to differ from matchup to matchup. To counterpoke this, you'll want to stand over here, and what you would do is something along the lines of standing. You could do another standing medium kick right after theirs comes out, hit their leg. Honestly, most of Karen's normals work here. Almost all of them work in this matchup. But you know that the other person has to stand at a certain range. And you know what normals, more or less, they're going to try to counterpoke you with. So, let's continue. You're the blue one, and you want to walk forward into stand medium kick range, which is here. You know that I will be trying to stand here, and you know that I am trying to counterpoke. So if I throw this out, okay, we're switching positions once again. Back to stand medium kick range, and throw this out. Okay. Back to stand medium kick range, and throw this out. Back to stand medium kick range, and throw this out. This is the next level, okay? Okay, let's do the dashes. You know they're looking for the counterpoke, so you have to try to counterpoke their counterpoke. And this is where rock, paper, scissors comes into play. It's like, if they're standing at that counterpoke range, you have to try to land your counterpokes on their counterpokes. It's difficult, but it's doable. Ah, darn it. But crouching hard kick would be a good choice for a counterpoke. Oh, let's see here. You might even be able to land a Rasenha, depending on the range. Unrivaled, do you understand where I'm going with this? Do you understand what I'm getting at? I know your poke range. You knew your poke range. You knew that I was trying to counterpoke you, but you were not attempting any of this. You were not saying, hey, I'm going to try and actually stop you from countering my pokes with my own pokes. You see what I'm saying? It all loops back around. This is all assuming you don't want to jump. If you jump, you could blow them up. You know, but obviously a jump is risky, because if we're all walking around and I see you jump, I could just anti-air it. But this is the point. The point is, this is what her crouching hard kick is for. This is what her standing hard kick is for. You know? It's not so much for brain dead pressure, it's for when they're looking to counter poke you, you have to poke their counter pokes. And in that sense, you do have to be kind of aggressive. This is why Alex Valle says footsies is about courage. If one person is pressing no buttons, it's about the courage to walk forward and bait the action so that you can counter poke it. Or the courage to actually throw them because you know they're not going to press buttons. You know, it's the courage to say, okay, they're going to press a button at this point, I'm going to take a step back and counter poke that. It's the courage to say, I think they're going to press a button at this time, so I'm going to hit this button, which is unsafe, but I think it'll counter poke it. That's why it's about courage. That's why footsies is about courage. You have to make a call, and you kind of have to anticipate, because raw reacting to this stuff is not practical. You might be able to, you know, see a sweep and be like, oh, okay, I can punish this, and that's a simple reaction, but you're not going to beat my normals on reaction. You're only going to beat them on anticipation. Yeah, Unrivaled. I will also say that there were times where you would not really confirm your Tenkos, but that's because you favor the crouch medium kick a lot. You've probably seen a lot of Karens use crouch strong, stand strong. You didn't really use it against me at all, and I don't know why. If it hits, you get your confirm, and if it doesn't hit, you're safe, and you can go for... That actually leaves you at a good range for footsies. It actually leaves you at the right spot. To be like, oh, you're going to do something? Take a step back, you know, sweep. You know layers 1 and 2 of the footsie game, but you're not applying layer 3, even though you know of it. And right now, your offensive pressure was kind of non-existent. The few times you did get in, you basically either just did a tick throw or just 2 crouching medium kicks in a row, not much else. So, both of those are important. What I would say to you, Unrivaled, is your close range game, as in the tick throws and knowing how to do a shimmy and knowing how to do a frame trap, that's going to give you more reward than the footsies will, because most of your opponents are not going to be playing footsies. But be cognizant of the footsies and go ahead and play around with the dummies and say, okay, if Cammy, okay, in fact, let me give you that example.
Why, thank you.
Why, thank you. Commodore Coco, thank you very much for subbing. Enemy Dad, yes, Cammy can. In fact, any character that has something invincible can. So that's where the higher level is, you know, wondering about, is the DP coming? But let me give you a more practical example. Yeah, okay. Okay, it's gonna be about here. Yeah, it is about the back jump range, okay. This range over here, about one jump away from Cammy, this is where she's actually gonna be able to counter poke your stuff. Okay, this is the range that I was trying to occupy, because I was trying to counterpoke your stand medium kick. Now, obviously, timing affects this. Timing and range both affect this. That's why results are not going to be 100% consistent when you're practicing this. But in a nutshell, this is what I was going for. I was trying to fierce you at this range to catch your pokes. So, here's what you can do. You can think about, okay, well, what can I do against that? Well, you can sweep it at that range, you know. You probably get a stand strong or a super or something. Yeah, stand strong super. If you have super. If you don't have super, I think you can EX shoulder. This is difficult though. There we go. Yeah, you can EX shoulder off a stand strong counter poke. I think you can V trigger as well. But the point is, now you're thinking about counter-poking my standing fierce at a very specific range. You see what I'm saying? This is a range that I'm going to try to occupy, and I'm going to try to use various pokes to counter-poke yours. So, this is the range where you want to practice beating my normals. If you would like some extra homework, extra credit, try Cammy's stand medium kick. You know, try that one instead. Okay, because this is the range where Cammy's going to use her stand medium kick. And you can do that same training where you're looking at your normals and trying to figure out where and with which normals to counterpoke my normals. So, yeah. Unrivaled, as you say, you worry about getting poked or DP'd. Well, that's the game. That's why it's a two-player game. They could poke you because they are also walking around adjusting their distance looking for counter pokes, and you're walking around adjusting your distance looking for counter pokes, and they could just try to throw out an Ume Shoryu. It might not work, but hey, it might. That's the game. That's what makes it difficult, and that's what makes it skillful. The goal is to be better than your opponent at it. So you have the knowledge, now you need the courage. And the training mode time. Focus very much on the throw frame trap mix-up and learn how to force people to stop pressing buttons and learn how to shimmy. And after that, spend some time thinking about those counter pokes, because you like playing the neutral, but you have to get a bit better at it.